You gave up a TV job to start a podcast in your basement. If that doesn't scream midlife crisis, I don't know what does.
It was Championship Sunday here in Indianapolis. What's the mindset then coming in as a defending champion?
I want to win. No, I want to win.
The young lady over my shoulder, Caitlin Clark.
Not the best looking guy. And I don't think anyone's going to sit here and say, Matt Randazzo was really good looking.
What has this last month, 2 months, 3 months been like for you? It's an important fan base for the Fighting Illini, is it not?
It is.
He turned 69 years young last week. You look good, Coach.
Oh, try it. Thank you.
Welcome to Off the Air with Matt Randazzo here on a Wednesday in the Quad Cities, Wednesday, November 8th. Thank you guys for joining us. November 8th, it's crazy. I was putting the show together just a little bit ago, kind of putting my opening notes down, and I always put the date on the top of the paper just to, make sure I'm not messing things up. And November 5th, and I remember November 8th was the last day last year at my old job. So I got to thinking, man, it's almost been a year since changing my life a little bit, and starting this show was in January, but it's been a bunch of fun. So if you're watching us, we can't thank you guys enough for doing it. If you're watching us live on YouTube, thank you. YouTube has been very good to us as well. If you've subscribed, awesome. If you haven't, please do so. That helps out a ton. Working our way towards 1,500 subscribers, which is really cool. So if you haven't subscribed, do so. Tell a friend or two or 10 or a million about what we're doing each and every weekday at 10 a.m. We're also live on X. X is very good to us as well. Give us our feedback there, your feedback there, I should say, throughout the show. We appreciate that. So X is good to us. All the podcasting platforms as well, whether it is Spotify, Apple, iHeart, Podbean, wherever you listen to podcasts, you can check out Off the Air with Matt Randazzo. Put it in. It should come up. You don't have to look at me. You can listen to the show. A bunch of great content today and throughout the week. So listen to us if you miss us live on YouTube and X and all that kind of stuff. Listen to us later in the day as well. And then also welcome to our Central Iowa viewers once again. Getting close to 2 months with you guys. We're loving it. The WHO streaming app has been fantastic. So thank you guys for tuning in the evening times as well. Monday, we had a great show. If you missed it, Kyle Huseman talking Iowa women's basketball and a big picture look at the season for them. Had Scott Docterman on Monday as well. Doc is one of my favorite people. I think he's super talented, one of the best college football beat writers around. So go check out Doc and our conversation on Monday. He was great. And then John Marks, as always, on Monday. Yesterday, I had to go to Iowa City. I had a fun interview with Aaron Graves. You're going to see that or listen to it, I guess, on the Hawkeye Tailgate Show coming up this Saturday on the Hawkeye Radio Network. Looking forward to presenting that to you guys. Really a good young man. Aaron Graves, married, has his life together off the field, and a really good football player on the field as well. So went up to Iowa City, got some stuff done. So we had a encore presentation of our Iowa Men's Basketball Media Day show from Carver Hawkeye. I thought it was fitting to have that on with Iowa opening last night, and we'll talk about Iowa's victory over Robert Morris in just a little bit. But anytime you want to check out that show or the women's basketball preview show from their media day, go check those out on YouTube as well. As for today, a big very busy show. We're going to go all 2 hours, I think, today. We have Pat Anger, who normally joins us on Mondays. He's here today in just a matter of moments. Iowa and the college football playoff rankings come out yesterday. They're 20th in the playoff rankings. Oregon, I think, is 9th. There's 6 teams in the Big Ten, all ranked in the top 25. Iowa ahead of Michigan, ahead of Washington, as they should be, in my opinion. They got a big game with Oregon, obviously, coming up on Saturday. We'll talk to Pat Anger about Iowa football, the bye week, and what should be a intriguing, entertaining Saturday, hopefully victorious Saturday for the Iowa Hawkeyes coming up against Oregon. So Pat Anger in a matter of moments. Also, we mentioned the Ben McCollum Era is officially underway at the University of Iowa. Iowa winning last night 101-69. And so many people early in the game were texting me with, wow, defense. Defense is a thing in Iowa City. So really impressive on the defensive end early, Robert Morris shot it a little better in the second half. But you can tell defense is a thing in Iowa City. And Iowa scored 100 points, which I think is a big deal as well, because the one worry, I guess, from some people when it came to Ben McCollum was the fact that they played at a slower tempo and style last year. Drake, I think if you educated yourself about Ben McCollum and his previous stop, they scored a lot of points. I think it was a necessity last year at Drake, and now Iowa has more shooting and more maybe offensive talent this year. So you saw that last night, 101 points on the night. So Tom Kakert, later on in this hour, will be here to talk all about Iowa's victory, Bennett Sturts, the starting lineup that was really strange with Folgaris coming off the bench, Hawson coming off the bench, Hawson not coming into the game till like 3 minutes left to go in the first half, which was interesting as well. So Tavion Banks was really impressive. So we'll talk all about that and the atmosphere at Carver coming up with Tom Kakert coming up later on in hour number 1. In hour 2, probably even later than that because of how many people we have on early, Mike Morrissey from Moline. Moline in the second round of the postseason, they got a road trip to Glenbard North coming up this week. Moline trying to make it to that state quarterfinal game, that threshold they've never been to. It's been since 1991 since they won a road playoff game. That was at Pekin. Thank you to Brian Stocking for that stat. So Mike Morrissey on their victory with Andrew last week, and then looking ahead to Moline's next challenge will be here in hour number 2. And then, of course, it's Wednesday, which means Ness Guess from Rock Island, Hungry Hobo. Ness and I recorded it yesterday. We have this week's winners. We have this week's picks, a bunch of fun stuff. Thank you once again to Hungry Hobo, not just for being a great sponsor of Off the Air, but also being an awesome sponsor of the Ness Guess contest, which has been so much fun. So many people getting in. We appreciate you guys all for taking part. So that coming up in hour number 2 as well. Some notes I want to get to high school wise before we get to our guests today. Congratulations to the Rock Island soccer team winning a super sectional championship last night, 4-0, the final in that one. They're heading to state for the first time ever. We'll have the Rock Island soccer team, whether coach or a player. We're going to talk with them coming up tomorrow, hopefully, right here on OTA. So we're looking forward to that. Congratulations to Rock Island. And they got more soccer to play. A fun weekend coming up for Rock Island. Volleyball-wise, at the state tournament in Des Moines, Assumption and North Scott both play today in the state semifinals. We wish them both the best of luck. We'll catch up with one, if not both those teams throughout the week or early next week as well. But they do a great job in Coralville. And I know it was a busy day yesterday in Iowa City for local media because you had Iowa's player availability. You had Ferentz at 1:15 or whatever it is, 1:45. And then you had the volleyball going on over in Coralville. And then on top of all that, you had the basketball game at night. So Iowa City, Coralville area was the place to be yesterday. Congratulations to Assumption and North Scott for both making it to the semifinals, and best of luck to them today. So a lot to get to this week. We mentioned that. Excited to talk to Rock Island Soccer, catch up with them hopefully tomorrow or Friday as well. But we start our Wednesday like we normally start our Mondays, and it's with a familiar face coming off the bye week over there in, I almost said Bettendorf, but not Bettendorf, but over in Davenport. So joining us now to get us through our hump day is the one and only Pat Anger. Thank you for adjusting your schedule. It's been a weird week for me. I didn't even bother you on Monday. Did you think you got off the hook when I didn't bug you?
Yeah, honestly, I was kind of thinking, I was like, did I ignore one of his text messages? So I'm glad we're able to connect because I felt bad. So, it's great to see you.
I feel bad because I was just cranky on Sunday. We just talked about it before we started that the Lions lost, and I spent a crap ton of money to watch them lose. So Monday wasn't fun for me, and I don't want to be unfun.
You think you guys would be? I mean, you've been a Lions fan forever, right? It's not like this is the first time they've ever lost. So
yeah,
you got
a
history of that.
For me, it's like, okay, guys, get over it. Let's go. My kids don't know it. They don't remember the crappiness as much as I do.
Yeah, that's true.
They kind of
that's
been
a great
spoiled.
Point.
It goes back to, and I told this story yesterday, when the Cubs won the World Series in 2016, my son Charlie was 7 at the time. And he looked up at me and he's like, I've been waiting for this my whole life. And I'm like, shut up, you're 7. And like, that's the way I feel when it comes to the Lions. They're like, oh, they lost. Yeah. I'm like, dude, they went 0-16. Shut up. Like, you don't even know what it's about. So, but anyways, enough of that nonsense. How was your bye week before we get into actual football stuff? Did you get to like relax? I just pictured you on a beach somewhere with a nice drink, just hanging out. No, it was a lot more work than actually working. Obviously it makes me appreciate my wife, what she does when I'm actually, when I'm doing the games, but yeah, Friday was actually relaxing. Unfortunately, my daughter got sick, so we couldn't go trick-or-treating. No way.
So I felt bad for her. Yeah. Honestly, she get like the last couple of years, like the last 2 out of 3 or 3 out of 4 years, she's been sick on Halloween. So yeah, I feel bad for her. And she's the only one like I want to go trick-or-treating with.
Did she get any candy? Like did her brothers go, or were they too old?
Emmett went. Gail didn't go, but yeah, she got taken care of with the candy.
Because sure. Like if she needs, I have like 4 bags of candy in the downstairs. That's like 20 pounds each. It's stupid how much candy these kids bring home. And you live in rich Bettendorf. You got the full size candy bars and everything else. That's true. You do, but a nice part of Davenport.
We're south of 53rd. All the rich people are north of 53rd. We're south of 53rd.
How'd your costume go?
Well, she didn't really, like, she had just kind of acknowledged it, but then she was like in and out of consciousness, like sleeping and feeling like crap. So I was all excited. Yeah. Mary took a picture of it, and then I saw it and then realized how terrible I looked. So that will never
luckily she sent me the picture. So ready?
No, I'm kidding. Post it up.
I'm kidding. I should have. How great would that be? Did it go as you felt it was going to go when it came to Mr. Clean? By the way, if people don't listen to the show or watch every day, which there's the vast majority of people don't, what are we talking about? You were Mr. Clean for Halloween.
Yeah, I was Mr. Clean. My daughter always calls me Mr. Clean. You know, if I'll be talking trash, she'll be like, "Shut up, Mr. Clean. You don't have any hair." Blah blah blah. So I was like, "Well, I wanted to dress up like Mr. Clean for it, but I looked like fat bald Jesus, so it wasn't great."
I'm just kidding. I don't even know where to go. I don't even know where to go with that. Like, I don't know. Like, fat and bald, I get. I don't know if I understand the Jesus part of it. But
just, the all white and the earring.
All right, that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, and then Saturday we had basketball tournament. I had a basketball tournament in Iowa City, and then Sunday, Kale had a basketball tournament in Dubuque, which is at the University of Dubuque. Absolutely beautiful.
Dude,
beautiful campus.
How good are your kids at every sport? You're like going on travel football stuff, travel basketball. I know baseball, they're going to be major leaguers. My God.
No, they're not good. It's just we sign them up for this stupid stuff,
Did they do well?
Kale played 5 basketball games on Sunday. It was nuts. What?
That means he must have done well, because like if they played 5, they probably were winning.
Yeah, I'm not raising losers. What do you think? You think I'm raising a bunch of losers? Absolutely not.
That's a promo right there.
Are gonna win.
That's my next. Like when I do another open, that's what it's going to be. I'm not losers. That's I'm saving that. All right, let's get to Iowa football, because I guess I've heard it's like a big week. There's a big game coming up. I've been told. Before we get to that, the rankings for college football playoffs came out yesterday. Iowa comes in at number 20. So Iowa fans that were all cranky about the AP Top 25 not being in it, relax. They're number 20. Your thoughts of those rankings? Do you care? Is it nice? Your thoughts when those come out?
No, I don't care at all. I just wish they wouldn't even rank them. Like, I don't know. Preseason rankings, they shouldn't do. They should probably rank them like in the next couple weeks. It just doesn't matter at the end. The end is all that matters. Like, doesn't matter what we're ranked. We still got to obviously, play Oregon. We still got to beat Oregon. Then after we beat Oregon, we still got to go out and beat USC, and then so on and so on. It's, it is what it is. We take care of business. The rankings and all that bull crap will take care of themselves.
You look at this team and like maybe the fan base. What have you seen over the last month when it comes to the optimism maybe of Iowa football? I like this bye week alone. It was nice to have like 2 weeks to kind of, I won't say bask in it, because I'm not doing anything, but there's a an excitement around the fan base right now. What was it like? Have you heard that? Have you felt that being around town, around the area, people excited about what the football team could do over the next month?
Yeah, it's and I think we had mentioned it. You had mentioned it last time we talked. It's what a difference a couple weeks makes, right? Like after the Iowa State game, some people wanted to burn the whole place to the ground. It's kind of funny how everything changes. Yeah, everybody. Hey, looking forward to this weekend. What do you think? Blah blah blah. And of course I'm like, I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, everybody's fired up, and obviously Kinnick's going to be absolutely rocking. It's going to be a spectacle. It's going to be absolutely amazing at 2:30 on Saturday. I'm really looking forward to being a part of that. I'm looking forward to just watching the guys compete, and it's a great opportunity for them. And obviously, I've had a couple big wins in my college career, and we'll be knock off what was it, number 3 Penn State? Yeah. I think it was my junior year. And I want these kids to experience that. I want this team to experience that because they deserve it. The good thing about it is they're going to have the opportunity to go out there and earn it on Saturday, and I'm obviously rooting for them and hoping that they get it done.
November and Kirk Ferentz kind of go hand in hand. And you mentioned that one victory was a November crazy special day and all that kind of stuff. In the last 6 years, I think he's like 21-3, or Iowa's 21-3 in November. What is it about November and maybe that dude in this program that kind of work together? Why is the success in November what it is?
Well, it's the constant improvement. It's the constant, hey, we're going to hold you accountable. You need to get better. We need to do this. Like it's full on accountability, and they bring the guys in that constantly want to improve and constantly want to get better. And a lot of it as well, it has to do with the fact that, we have a great strength and conditioning program. We always have. And Ray's running it now, and Ray's a freaking phenomenal human being. And, he's got them ready to go, and he's got them fired up, and you're constantly getting better. Not only from a football standpoint, but you're getting better, physically and athletically as well too. And it starts with the fact that the right guys are there, like the right guys are in the building, and that's from the coaching staff to the players. And this team is special. I really do like this team, and they're a hungry team. That they're going to constantly. I think Coach Ferentz mentioned, this team's great. Whatever we say, they'll do, which is huge. Like, no complaining. Like, yes, Coach, we're going to go out there and we're going to improve. And it's no surprise that they're continuing to get better throughout the season.
Pat Anger joining us right now in OTA. It's the Oregon Ducks coming to town on Saturday. Did you use the bye week to look into Oregon? What do you know about Oregon? I think there's a misconception out there that Oregon comes to town as the Chip Kelly, throw the football all around, those kind of things. And they're going to score, but I think they're physical, that kind of a football team. What have you seen on film, or what do you know about Oregon that Iowa fans can expect coming up on Saturday?
Yeah, I've watched quite a bit of film on them. Offensively, tons of motions, tons of shifts, which really makes it tricky on a defense because you're motion and shifting all around, and they're doing it so they can get the edge on you. Obviously, some of the time so they can understand what defense you're in, but a lot of it is just to get the angles on the block. So it's going to be a big challenge for us to just adjust to that and get lined up. And hopefully, obviously, the fans are going to help out with that because they're going to be loud and screaming, and the motions and shifts, that takes communication. But the hard part as well too is if they're doing that, we can't hear what we're saying on defense either because the crowds are. So luckily, we had a couple weeks to prepare for that. They are very physical. They do like to get the ball to the outside. I would just say, on both sides of the ball, they're just extremely aggressive. I was really impressed. I'm impressed with every single player on their team. Their O-line's physical. They got their tight ends are freaking big, and they're athletic. They can push the seams. They can get open. Running backs are solid. It's just quarterback makes good decisions. They're a really good football team. Then defensively, they fly around. They play really hard. They're aggressive as well. Physical. It's we're gonna have to play our best football, and we're not gonna have the opportunity to make any mistakes. And obviously, they got good players. They're gonna get a couple plays here and there. So if we can continue to stay together, continue to fight, I think muddy it up a little bit. I think that'll help. And but I like our guys. I like our crew. I think we've got good leadership, and I think we've got just a good mentality. And our O-line, I think, is going to hopefully take over the game.
You mentioned make good plays. I think in the two biggest home games, Indiana and Penn State, one they barely lost, one Iowa won. They put themselves behind the eight ball, maybe early with interceptions and early in the game, and then uncharacteristic, just like bad ways then to half. And both were different when it came to Indiana giving up a field goal with like 25 seconds left, and they went down the field and scored. I think a penalty helped. And then the field goal stuff we won't even get into with Penn State. That's gone. But with that being all said, like they can't do that against Oregon, can they? And I don't think they will. Like you mentioned, having to play good football. It's amazing they almost beat Indiana and they made the mistakes that they made. And they beat Penn State and they made the mistakes that they made. Iowa, I don't think, can do that for a third time against a really good football team at home. Your thoughts on just starting clean and cleaning up some of that stuff in a big game?
Yeah, they're obviously they're a tough team to come back on, because they can score super fast. They can play defense. They can run the ball. They can control the clock. Like they can absolutely do everything offensively. So, yeah, I mean, it's good teams. You just can't make mistakes. It's the same thing every week. Like you can't afford to do it. They're a very well coached football team. Dan Lanning has them flying around, playing extremely hard. Yeah, it's just we can't afford it against good football teams, and really against anybody, man. You've got to get out to a fast start, and you can't give them any gifts.
What does Iowa need to do to be successful? I know Saturday you'll have your Anger's keys to the game and all those kind of things that are sponsored by a big time sponsor and all that kind of stuff. But give us a little preview. What are a few things that Iowa has to do to be successful on Saturday against Oregon?
Yeah, I mean, we have to communicate extremely well on defense. Everyone's got to be on the same page. Can't give up any big plays. Absolutely cannot. Have to limit those. I guess I should say we can't, but limit the explosive plays. When you're watching them on film and there's a cut up that says explosive plays, like usually you're looking at 15 or whatever so plays, but they're at like 30 or 40. It seemed like I just kept going explosive play after explosive play. And then, our O-line's got to take over, and they've done a great job all year of being physical, but you got to control that line of scrimmage and, take what that Oregon team's going to give us and make it a fight, muddy it up, make it a fight. Yeah, these will probably most likely be my keys to the game now that I'm just talking about it.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, and it's you say this almost every week, and it holds true here, is play Iowa football, run the ball, control the clock, play good special teams, play good defense. Like it is what it is. It works. Everybody, some people talk about how it's not pretty and all that stuff, but I'll tell you what, it works. And if we do that, we'll beat this really good Oregon team, because this Oregon team is really good. Like I honestly, they had a tough loss to Indiana. Otherwise, everybody, and still, like, I don't know why all of a sudden nobody's really even talking about them being national title contenders, because they got the talent and all that stuff to do it. So it's going to be a tough task. But I like our guys. If we can turn this into a fist fight, I like our guys. And I mentioned this the other day. I feel like it's like back in the old UFCs when you had, we're going to take the kickboxers versus the wrestlers and the, Muay Thai guys versus this. I feel like this is like the fancy stand-up fighter versus the wrestler, and we're the wrestler. And if we can just bring the fight to the ground and just ground and pound them, like, awesome. But if that fight stays standing, it's going to be tough.
That's a good analogy, Pat. That's why you're one of the best in the business. That's why you get paid all the big bucks. I mean, it's amazing. One more defensive thing for you. I got to talk with Aaron Graves yesterday. You'll hear the interview on the Hawkeye Tailgate Show coming up on Saturday on the Hawkeye Radio Network. He just impresses the heck out of me. He's just put together on the field and doing great things, but he's got his stuff together off the field as well. Just impressed with him as a human being. Talk about him as a football player, because he's a guy that, we didn't talk about stars on this team and who's the guy on defense, and several have emerged. He's a guy that's, I think, going to play on Sundays and is a huge part of what Iowa does up front.
Oh, 100%. He's done so well for us this year. And you when you watch him on film, like, he's getting held and like mauled like every single play, but he's fighting through it and just kicking the crap out of the guys. He's got a motor like Carl Klug, I would say.
That's a great analogy.
Two very similar. Yeah, just tough and like, hey, you're not going to get in my way. You're not going to stop me. Obviously, Carl couldn't read, still can't, but so it's a little different there. But I do love Carl Klug, and I just love the way Aaron Graves plays. He's been tremendous for us. Super intelligent guy, very physical. Sets the tone a lot. Like the fact that he can make a move through A gap. He's got a guard and center and make a move through A gap and get to the quarterback while getting held is super impressive.
Why is Carl Klug catching strays? Like that
I
was
love
out of
Carl.
nowhere. I'm pretty sure he can read. Like, right?
I don't know. A lot of the good D linemen can't read. So
no, but they made your life a lot easier. They made
I don't want them to read. As long as you can fight and battle, Carl's my favorite. Carl's my absolute favorite.
He's a good dude.
I love Carl.
The Iowa basketball game was last night, and I don't know how much of you watched. I watched it all when I got back home. I watched it, and ever so often they show the sidelines, and there's Gary, Dolph, and there's Bobby, and two of the best in the business. They've done it forever together, but I found myself going where's Pat? Do you get jealous? Do you see Gary in the background and he's cheating on me? That's my guy. Do you get jealous?
No, honestly, I don't know how he does all the things he does. I know we talk about it because what they've got, he had a game last night. They've got a game Friday, right?
Yeah.
And then he's got a football game Saturday. On top of that, he's got Hawk Talk and all that's dude's a machine.
Dude, I'm trying to do an hour pregame show and I'm overwhelmed. And he's yeah, I'll do 4 games a week plus some Hawk Talk shows, plus entertain us on a Friday night if he needs to and all that kind of stuff. He's as good as he gets, man. He's really good. Yeah, Did you watch any of the basketball?
He does it all. I listened to, I had to take my kids to practice and then had kind of hung around and listened to them on the radio for a little bit. It sounded great. Obviously sounded amazing. Then watched a little bit of it at home, but then I feel like my wife wanted to watch Dancing with the Stars or something, was trying to find that. So then I think she ended up watching that. But then I don't know because the Disney Plus got messed up and the Hulu and the YouTube TV. I don't know. But yeah,
rich people problems. It's hard. We have just antenna TV. We don't even have anything. We just have the rabbit ears on top of the.
I just want to get rid of all of it. I just really want to get rid of all of it. And that's the one thing is Hawkeye Radio Network, we're never going to let you down. So just turn on the radio and hang out with your family. You don't need all that stuff on TV in the background.
That's a great point. You're not arguing with YouTube TV right now. It's all reliable. Dolph and Pat, They'll be there for you regardless. If you're having a good day, bad day, snuggle up with that radio and listen to these guys on the air. Coming up
it costs $0.
Yeah, exactly. Before I let you go, my next segment, I have our good friend your Pat Anger, Tom Kakert. And I'm bummed because we're going to talk more about Iowa basketball, but he's cutting me out. Have you noticed that? I haven't been on his podcast in a long time and it bothers the fans, especially one big fan, which will go unmentioned, but should I worry? Have you talked to Tom? Is he mad at me?
Yeah. I don't know what's going on between you guys, but yeah, it does seem like he's kind of kicking you out of the Hawkeye Report podcast, and I don't know what's going on. I kind of he replaced you with Chuck Long,
which is understandable.
I don't know. Well, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. It's just, it's a sad deal, man. He just keeps bringing in all these guys, and you just keep getting kicked to the curb. I'm sorry. I feel bad for you. Honestly, that's the only reason why I do this podcast or whatever this is.
Well, the paycheck is nice too. I send you that big paycheck every week.
Yeah, I'm not at work, so I'm actually losing money right now.
You don't act like you get paid by the hour, and don't act like you work. Those two things don't go hand in hand. Also, with that being said, I did bring chips and salsa to the radio booth that one week. That's kind of payment.
Are you trying to get Employee of the Week? Because the votes are still being counted.
No, can we talk about that real fast? Pretend nobody's listening. What do I have to do? I understand the people that win it deserve it, but there's multiple winners, and I feel like I'm doing okay. Everyone else tells me I'm doing okay.
Listen, I just present the trophy. I don't make the decisions. It comes from all over. So I don't know. You got a shot.
What's all over? What do you mean all over? Who's all over?
It's a democracy. It's a democracy. There are no kings in this whole voting thing. It's a democracy, and
I feel like there's one king. I feel like there's one
I
thing.
just I just do that. I put the form together, I tape it to the wall, and then I walk away.
You know what?
Wipe my hands.
It's funny because I know what you were like the first year, last year doing it, and what I'm doing is nothing compared to what you do. But like it is kind of fun now. Like it was overwhelming at first a little bit, and I can't fathom what you did. But like it was like figuring it all out. But once you get to this time of year, it's like, and not the on-air stuff. That's whatever, which I should care more about, which I do care a lot about. But it's the people we work with. It's so much fun, man. Like it really is. Like they're a bunch of knuckleheads that have a good time and you just laugh. And oh, by the way, we're going to do some radio in the process as well.
No, dude, 100%. It's a great crew. Just everybody just works well together. Just all just cool dudes. And luckily without Corey, it would be a complete disaster. So luckily we have him to kind of hold everybody accountable.
The king, I think we were just referring to Corey. That's right, the king. So
I mean, now I think about it, I mean, he might be the first 3-time employee of the week. So we'll see how that goes.
He deserves employee of the week every week. So if anybody else wins it, it's just, you're adding to it. So, all right, my friend, I'll see you Saturday. I'll probably see you before then, whatever. But I'll see you Saturday at Kinnick Stadium, and it should be a good one. Iowa and Oregon, 2:30 kick. Pat comes on the air at 1:30 after the Hawkeye Tailgate Show with Gary Dolphin, and it should be a fun evening and afternoon of college football. Thanks, pal. Get to work.
Love you. See you, buddy.
All right. That is Pat Anger joining us on Off the Air with Matt Randazzo here on a Wednesday, kind of delaying a little bit. No show yesterday because of some radio responsibilities. We did do the encore presentation of the Iowa basketball preview show. But Monday was super busy. We had Sky Doctorman. So Pat, flexible as always, moving to the Wednesday time slot. We appreciate that as well. So we got more to get to. As I just mentioned, my good friend Tom Kakert was at Carver Hawkeye Arena. Iowa started the season with what you expected, an impressive victory over Robert Morris. Was it better than expected? Where do we go from here? All that kind of stuff. First reactions of the Ben McCollum era coming up next with Tom Kakert. We'll be right back. All right, be honest. Are you craving Hungry Hobo again? You know, that fresh sliced meat piled high on those amazing sandwiches, hot off the grill chicken and steak with all those delicious toppings, the biggest and best selection of baked potatoes, or simply some waffle fries dipped in cheese. Well, now that Quad City favorite is even easier to get. Download the Hungry Hobo app today. Order ahead, skip the line, and earn rewards all at the same time. There's Double Points Monday and exclusive specials as well. With 12 locations in the Quad City area, it's Hungry Hobo. Now even easier to find, but still hard to resist.
Rafferty Funeral Home, dedicated to serving families in the Quad Cities since 2007.
Hi, welcome. Yeah, come on in.
An experienced staff plans each service to reflect the unique life and legacy of your loved one. Rafferty Funeral Home is proud to serve our community with dignity, respect, and compassion, helping you to celebrate your traditions and lasting memories no matter your faith, culture, or budget. Rafferty Funeral Home in Moline. Call today to discuss prearrangements.
When it comes to quality, convenient pizza, Godfather's Pizza in Silvis has you covered. Featuring a beautiful dine-in area, delivery, and a carry-out window. Godfather's Pizza is that pizza you grew up with, not a convenience store. You see, at Godfather's Pizza, the dough is made fresh daily. That mozzarella cheese is shredded fresh and never frozen. And those toppings are abundantly piled high each and every time. Locally owned and operated since 2010, Godfather's is a huge supporter of local athletes right here in the Quad Cities. So come on by and check them out at 1211 Avenue of the Cities in Silvis. Order online at godfathers.com and reunite with that same delicious pizza you grew up with. Welcome back to Off the Air with Matt Randazzo here on a Wednesday in the Quad Cities. A great time of year when it comes to obviously football, taking center stage, and we just got done with Pat Anger and a huge weekend in Iowa City when it comes to Iowa and Oregon. A huge showdown, number 20 versus I think number 9 now when it comes to the college football rankings and those kind of things, but also crossover season, which means basketball season is underway. The Ben McCollum Era is officially underway in Iowa City, and it got off to a nice start last night with a 101-69 victory over Robert Morris, and a guy who was at Carver Hawkeye Arena and is worn down now is Tom Kakert. Tommy, you're playing through it a little bit. I appreciate you joining me because you're supposed to be worn down at the end of the month, battling a little cold today. I appreciate you.
Yeah, it's a nasty cold that's kind of knocked me on my butt, but long day yesterday with football stuff in the morning and then the basketball. Got home late last night, but nobody wants to hear me complain.
Did you go
I've got
home?
a great job.
Did you go home in between?
No,
I didn't think so.
no, just stayed up there and just stayed up there and hung out and got some work done. So it was good, but caught a cold. So here we go.
That's a gift, an early Christmas gift from your son, correct?
I think so. Yeah, he
Attaboy Jack.
came home with a cold. So he came home last weekend and we sat around and watched football all weekend. And now I got a cold.
That's a good. Hey, you know what? That's a good weekend though with the youngsters. So that it might be worth it. It might be worth the trade off. Let's start with basketball. Carver Hawkeye last night, an impressive victory for Iowa, 101-69, and it is Robert Morris, and it's not like it's the best team or the opponent in the world, but I think fans like what they saw, the way it was played. What was the headline? What's the biggest thing you took out of Iowa's opening game, Ben McCollum's freshman game at the University of Iowa?
Probably that they scored 101 points. Because it had been a while for them doing something like that. And that was kind of one of the things that McCollum promised was, hey, we're not going to be this slog of a team, that just kind of walks it up all the time. We're going to try and get out and run a little bit more than we have in the past because I feel like we've got the players that can do that. And it was a dunk fest. I mean, Tavion Banks had 17 points, and I think probably 3/4 of them came on dunks. Bennett Sturts had a lob dunk. Said he hadn't had one of those for a long time.
I didn't know he had that in his resume.
Yeah, he's got. He had a great game, 19 and 6. Did have 4 turnovers, but he thought he was really good. He's unflappable. You cannot speed him up. You cannot make him uncomfortable. He just handles everything with such poise, I think is the right word. Alvaro Fergares came off the bench, 11 and 5. I thought they had a really balanced start. I think 6 guys in double figures. One thing, because I know people have asked about this a lot. They were wondering why did they have this starting lineup? And McCollum said after the game, he didn't really decide the starters until like an hour before the game or right around that time. And I can verify that. I talked to people an hour before the game and they're like, I have no idea what he's doing.
Wow.
It's people who would know. So he's going to be open to putting different guys in the starting lineup. So one game it might be Cooper Koch in there. The next it might be Brendan Housen. Just never know. So I know people were worried about Housen. He wasn't hurt, nothing like that. It was just a matchup thing. Alvaro, I think they felt good about him coming off the bench. They wanted some of those veteran guys in there that know what they're doing in McCollum's system out of the gate. So that's what they did. And Coop just shoots it really well. So it was basically 4 guys who played for Ben before and Coop who can shoot it. So, and Trey Thompson, I know people were asking about him not playing. He's not planning to redshirt at this point, but Ben says basically, I think down the road he's probably going to be a big All Big Ten player, but he's 17. He's learning to play defense. He couldn't work out with us and do some of those things that you need to do during the summer. So he's just playing catch up, but loves his talent, loves his ability. So it's not that they're out on him. It's not that he has decided to redshirt. That is possible, but he's not decided that. But they feel good about his future too. So just I thought a lot of positives. Iowa shot 61% from the floor, 7 of 15 from three, which is really good, considering they struggled to shoot it in those two secret scrimmages. Got to line a ton, 44 times, made 36. Fast break points, 13-0. That wasn't something you probably thought from a Ben McCollum team you were going to see. Paint scores, 44-20. They really attacked the paint, especially early. Went to the rim, and turnovers, 23-11. So they were really good in that area. So just a lot of good things from this Iowa team in their home opener against Bobby Moe.
It's funny, Tom, you mentioned it, because Iowa scored 100 points in a game a lot. Fred McCaffrey's era, that wasn't a big deal. This one felt important. It did. And I remember one of my kids was like, I think my youngest, Carson, just wanted to stay up as long as he could. But he's like, Dad, they're at 98. I want to see if they get to 100. And my wife is like, go to bed. And Carson goes, no, it's a big deal. And I even said to myself, like, I think it is a big deal. And not because he wanted to stay up, but because I think there was that myth that, like, ooh, I really like Coach McCollum. He'd be a fun coach, but boy, what a difference in styles if you want to play basketball in the 50s and 60s again. And I don't think that's anything. And that's what Coach McCollum said right off the bat. Like, if we have the shooting, we're gonna be able to score a lot. I thought that was significant. On the offensive side, it didn't seem difficult either. You could see the explosiveness, if that makes sense. When it comes to the shooting, guys that can get to the rim, you can see why it can be an explosive team this year, right?
Yeah, you can see that they've got a lot of pieces that can play, and I think they'll be pretty solid all year. They really know how to share the ball, and they make the extra pass. There was that one possession where they passed up basically two open threes to get the third one that was wide open and buried it. And that's the kind of unselfishness you want to see from your team is making that extra pass and finding people. And Sturtz is really good too. And he kind of runs a show. I thought it was interesting because we're sitting there with about 7 minutes left and they're up 30. And I'm like, why is Sturtz still in there? And he was still in there until about 4.5 minutes left in the game, and then they finally went and got him. But he had played every minute. He does not come off the floor.
I think that's what he wants to do. I think he just doesn't want to come off the floor, which is awesome.
Yeah, and he just wants to be out there, and they'll buy him some possessions where he doesn't have the ball in his hands. Where they'll have Cale Combs come in there and bring the ball up, and do that for 2 or 3 possessions, just so Sturtz can kind of play off the ball and get a little bit of a breather. But it's, he's really talented, really smart, knows what he's doing with the ball, runs the offense, had probably a couple of turns that he would like to have back. I mean, there was one where he was trying to hit, I think, Howard on a cut, and Howard cut a little bit tighter, and he missed the throw and ended up over by McCollum. By the way, Ben McCollum really into the game. I mean, there was during that 17-2 run, he's down there on the sidelines, throwing his hands up in the air, trying to get the crowd to get going. Because he talked about it after the game. He would love for them to be the fans to be into it, not just after a good offensive play, but during good defense. That 17-2 run out of the gate was just, they suffocated him. I mean, they just got after him and took him out of everything they were trying to do. And really, the defensive effort was really good. Second half, 10 of 13 from 3 for Robert Morris is not what you're going to want. And I think that's probably a really good teaching tool for McCollum to show that team and say, look, you can't let off the gas just because you're up 30. You got to keep putting that foot to the floor and guard the 3, because the 3 can get you back into a game. Now, it wasn't going to happen last night, but if you're doing that against Iowa State or Michigan State or Purdue, you're in trouble.
It's funny, Tom, because I I have the utmost respect for what Fran McCaffrey did over these years and those things as
Sure.
well. But the bugaboo was defense, and people would
Hmm.
say, like maybe they don't have defensive guys or whatever. And I think last night kind of showed that like defense is taught, defense is practiced, defense is and I mean those guys on the floor aren't more talented defensively than other Hawkeye players from the past. They're just bought in defensively. I had so many people, Tom, and I'm sure you did too, that texted me during the game. I had another coach, Scott Hardison, who coaches for Geneseo. We both coached the fifth graders for the Future Pioneers. He showed up late, and he's like, "There's this phenomenon going on at Carver Hawkeye Arena right now called defense," and I got that from several people. Yes, the offense was the headline, I think, but like, you could see the difference in defense. Why is it so different? Is it because, like Cooper Koch has told us, they practice it a ton? Is that the difference?
You don't guard, you don't play. You're not going to play for Ben McCollum if you don't guard. And that's just how it is. That's one of the tenets of what he does as a head coach is he's going to emphasize playing defense. If you don't give up points, you can't lose. And they're not going to hold anybody to zero, but what I'm saying is that if you guard, it gives you a chance, even if your offense has the night off a little bit or is
Defense doesn't
struggling that
slump.
night. No, it's just, and they're going to guard people. They're going to get after it. Now one of the things you worry about, size, rebounding. They barely won the rebounding battle. They were behind at the half. Cam Mannion only had one rebound in the game, and he's your starting center. So you got to get more from him on the glass. But it's hard for me to complain about Cam. He played really well last night, I thought, but and did well offensively. But they've got to get on the glass more and prevent second chance opportunities for opposing teams.
Yeah, I think size will be an issue some nights, especially in the Big Ten. Tom Kakert joining us right now and off the air with Matt Randazzo. Who I don't want to say surprised you, but who stood out to you? Take Bennett Sturts away. We both know he's super good. We've talked about him. I really loved what Tavion Banks did and his athleticism and those kind of things. Give me some guys that stood out to you that you're like, oh, this is interesting to watch and develop.
Yeah, I thought Tavion was really good. You know what? I'm such a fan of Cooper Koch.
Me too.
Kid stuck with it and stayed at Iowa and had to really adjust at the type of player that he was. And he did that. I was sitting courtside watching him warm up, and I'm like, holy cow, Coop has just gotten his upper body has transformed. He looks stronger. He got after it defensively and was just working his tail off and made some really good plays. So he's probably one of the guys that I'll also kind of point out as a guy that I thought made not that I didn't think he was a good player because I did, but just the way he played and the way he has transformed himself, I think is a testament to Coop and the type of young man he is.
Tommy, you look at the and by the way, Cooper's been on the show 3 times, so he's one of my favorites, hands down. And yeah, he has. You can tell he's gotten in better shape. Of course, he'll be remembered for puking in the first workout or the Ben McCollum era, but obviously doing a fantastic job. Want to see him continue to do well. You look at the environment. Tell me about what it was like at Carver Hawkeye Arena. The new student section seemed obviously full. When it comes to that smaller one, obviously there's more other places, but how did that look? Your thoughts on the new student section, and then just the vibe in the arena. It seemed like a decent sized crowd. Take me through all that kind of stuff for people who weren't at the game.
Yeah, I think there was probably about 10,000. Carver seats 15, so I thought it was a pretty good crowd, boisterous. They were into it. I thought the coolest moment of the night was after the game, and this was spontaneous by McCollum. He goes over and he just went right to the student section and high-fiving all the students and walking around the court and going over, and high-fiving all the Gucci Row guys, with Dr. Feller and
Yeah.
everybody, just high-fiving all, and the players all followed suit and went over there and did that too. That's how you win those fans back. That's how you get those fans to keep showing up, is if you go over and you acknowledge them and you show appreciation for them showing up. That's going to they're going to say, hey, this was a really fun time, and those guys came over and they told us how much they appreciate us being here. You should come to the next game. And I think that's going to be a big thing for Ben and that program, is to continue to do that outreach to the students and to fans in general. And they did that, and it was super cool. A credit to Ben for starting that, for doing that, and credit to the rest of the team for following right in their leaders' footsteps, and going to show that appreciation to the students that showed up.
Tell me about the game atmosphere. I read on social media they tweaked a few things. Did you see a noticeable difference in the way the night kind of went with getting fans involved, or was there not that big of a difference when it came to that? I did see Coach McCollum doing this several times, and it was on the defensive end. That's what I loved. It wasn't like somebody had a dunk and he was doing this. It was the defensive side of it.
He can be animated, and I think that's just so cool about him, is he's not gonna, I never saw him have bad conversations with the officials or anything like that, or trying to, get calls or whatever. He's talking to Kelly Pfeiffer and he's talking to Earl Walton and those guys, but he was, he was just trying to get everybody involved, and he mentioned something after the game about just wanting the fans to, like, hey, when we need a stop on defense, why don't you guys all get up and cheer so you can get us going to get that stop, instead of waiting for that stop to happen to get up and cheer. And I think he wants something like that to happen, to get everybody really involved in Iowa basketball during the game, and because fans can be, as we see at Kinnick, when teams are trying to snap the ball in that north end zone, it's deafening down there. And you can impact the game in a lot of ways by being involved as a fan.
And anyone who tells me that Carver's the problem, they haven't been to a women's basketball game of late. Carver's not the problem. Yeah. And you're right. Iowa fans have the they want to stand up and cheer really loud, and they do when something good happens. Mm-hmm. But they wait for something good to happen in order for that, instead of maybe doing it a little earlier to get them involved more and more throughout this. Yep. A few more before let Tommy take some chicken noodle soup and go to bed or whatever's next. What is the starting five come Big Ten time? I get like the whole, we're trying to figure it out, and it'll probably be a little different against Western Illinois and so on and so forth. But when the games get a little more bigger, Big Ten play, especially Iowa State, when this thing all settles in, what's the starting five? If Tom Kakert could pick the starting five, what's it going to be?
I honestly think that Ben is going to just adjust this pretty much all season.
You do?
Based on matchups and based on personnel. Yeah. I don't know that he's going to settle into one.
Who are the mainstays? I mean, obviously Bennett's going to be there every night. Is Cam going to be there every night?
Bennett, Cam, and I would think
Tavian?
probably Isaiah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think those three are probably guys that are going to be, no matter what, I think they're going to start, because I think, what did Ben call Isaiah Howard? I think he called him a psycho or something yesterday, last night after the game, something like that, like a crazy person.
Yeah.
Just because he gets after it and he's got some length as a wing, so I think he really likes what he brings to the table. His starting five, I don't know. I need to see more. I really do. I think he's settled for a while, settled into 8 players. And one of them was not Housen, which was interesting to me, because he praised him pretty heavily coming into the game. So I think it's just going to depend on what the matchups are,
Let me be
and
let
he's
me
going
be
to
devil's
coach those.
advocate. Let me be devil's advocate real quick. It seems weird that like it was a matchup thing in the opening game against Robert Morris is the reasoning for him coming in with 3+ minutes left to go in the first half. I mean
Yeah,
like a matchup thing in game 1 when you're up 30? Like that seemed weird to me.
yeah, he settled into 8 though. That's what he did. He settled into 8, and then he went to 10 pretty quickly because Manuel and I think Alvaro both got 2 fouls, and that hasn't changed, by the way. That makes all the Iowa fans crazy that he's a 2 foul sit guy.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Yeah,
No, don't do that to us. So, is it safe to say? I know you had your 8, but like when my head, like if you put those 3, then Alvaro, Tavion, um, Hassan, and give me the Cooper would be the 4, 2 to make 4. 2 of those 4 in every.
I think so. Yeah, I think that's probably right. I think that is. Yeah, and it might be some nights it'll be Housen and Fulgaris, and other nights it's going to be Coop and Fulgaris out there. It's gonna depend.
Now
But I
you got me
think
intrigued.
there's an emphasis on defense. You're going to have to guard. And I think that's going to be the paramount thing that he looks at when you're looking at a starting lineup is can you come out of the so I'm going to have to talk to Ben about this at some point, but I think he looks at the start of the games and guarding as like one of the most important things for a team is to get stops early so the other team does not get into a good flow.
Yeah, makes sense, which is different from years past in Iowa. All right, I got to ask you about football, but you buried the lead
Yeah,
in basketball because a young, really talented journalist, Brad Schultz, who's been on the show here,
yeah.
he had to break the news
For
on
Brad.
social media
Great.
to me. Chick-fil-A is now available at Carver Hawkeye Arena.
Yeah. They got overrated chicken that won't be
Jesus
served on Sundays if
Christ.
there's games.
Jeez.
There
What?
won't be there won't be any Chick-fil-A there on a Sunday.
What's wrong with you? It's not overrated chicken.
Overrated chicken.
God, then you
Give me a
wonder why
good
people don't like you, Tom. Then there's a pocket of people.
I
It's
get
because of that right there.
it's because of my I
Careful.
refuse to overrate chicken
Oh my God.
because I
All right,
refuse to
let's go to
overrate
football
chicken.
because this isn't going to get us anywhere. Rankings come out. I mean, I could do a whole segment with you on football, but I won't. Rankings come out. Iowa number 20. Is
Well,
that what
hey,
you expected?
we're gonna do that on a podcast this week.
Am I invited?
Yeah, of course. You're always invited. You're just
Well,
busy.
there's controversy. There's controversy.
You know.
There's people that are they're not happy.
No,
So
the people
um,
know. People know that it's you, not me.
I hope this
It's
person
like
is really
the
enjoying
point
this
is, why
show.
is the relationship going bad? Why is the relationship going bad? It's you, not me.
I've heard that before. 20th.
Yeah.
Is that what you expected? Is that what you thought when it comes to the first college
Yeah, I
football
was
playoff
talking.
rankings?
Yeah, Scott Docterman and I were talking about that yesterday. And Doc did the mock selection committee this year, which gives him a ton of insight. And I thought that's really cool that he was able to do that for the Athletic. And um and and he was saying yesterday when we were talking, he goes, I wouldn't be surprised to see him in the teens, just because he knew the metrics that they looked at
Yeah.
and the things that are important to them. I thought it was really kind of stunning that they were ahead of Michigan, but when you look at the body of work, probably, yeah. So anybody who doubts, if Iowa wins their next 2 games, and then uh, if you know, they'll be in the top 12 if they win the next 2 games.
Oh yeah. No, absolutely. It's funny. Doc brought it up on the show on Monday, and I didn't really thought about this. Yes, you would have loved to beat Indiana, but the loss is almost just as good because it keeps Indiana what they are. So it's such a quality loss compared to deflating what Indiana might be if they lost to Iowa. it's nearly just as good. And so I think
No,
that's one thing that
KF would disagree with you.
yes, I'm
KF would
sure. And there's
disagree. He would
Iowa
rather have
fans
the
with
win.
it. Well, especially when I think what made Indiana's loss really good was that they went to Oregon and beat Oregon. And that's what made that loss. If they would have gone to Oregon and lost to Oregon, then it's not that big a deal. It's the fact that then Indiana went on the road and won that game was pretty impressive.
How would this sound in December 20th? Iowa at Notre Dame.
How cool would that be?
Huh? How about that?
I'd sign me up. This area, what would our good friend John Marks do?
He'd root for Notre Dame.
Ooh, yeah, I think he would.
Okay.
But there are people that are like, they're Iowa fans and they like Notre
I know
Dame
a lot
as
of
well.
people who are.
There's a
who are
lot of people
Notre
like that.
Dame on Iowa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh? Well,
I'm fantasy booking.
Let's not put
Let's pump the brakes.
Take it easy, Tony Khan. Like, all right, this isn't AEW. You can't just fantasy book. You got to actually go through the storylines first. So we'll see what
We don't need storylines.
Quick prediction for Saturday before I let you go. I could talk to you a whole nother segment with that, but I want you to get
We'll do that on a podcast.
Yes.
Another podcast.
Give me a prediction.
Somebody asked me that yesterday. This is not my official prediction.
All right,
but
not official.
I gave them 20-17 Iowa.
I asked
so my son, who as you know is a in training meteorologist,
yes.
has been on me about the weather that's coming on Saturday, and it might be a little wet out in your booth with some winds, so get ready. You might want to get out the galoshes.
That early?
Yeah.
Yep. You know what's going to happen is I'm going to be down there by myself working my butt off, and like you're supposed to come down and be on. Anger is
I'm going to
supposed to
do
come
it
down
from
and
the
come on.
booth.
I see that's what's going to
I'm gonna
happen
do it
is
from the
everybody's going to be doing it from the booth, and I'm going to be sitting there out like a wet dog. Man,
Yeah. Well,
you fancy media
I'm gonna
guys
do it from the booth.
like
No,
Anger.
I'll come down.
You know what? The beauty part for what I get to do
I'm not soft like Pat. I will
That's
come
true.
down there.
That's true. The beauty thing about what I get to do is by an hour till kick, my work day is done. I got a lot to do beforehand, but once that show gets over with, I get to enjoy, football. And that's something I haven't gotten to do in 25 years. So it's been fun to and this week, and I'll let you go, is my wife's out of town. So this is that week that if I was smart, I would just do the pregame show and then wrap it up and head back to the Quad Cities and watch the game at home and like help with kids. But I'm not missing. I'll be sitting hopefully next. If I had my choice, I'd be between John Bonenkamp and Tom Kakert in the press box watching football.
If that happens.
So I got to get my name signed in there pretty quick. So Tommy, chicken noodle soup, Lipton. Brian Stocking says Lipton chicken noodle soup will fix any cold. I don't know if you want health advice from Brian Stocking, but that's what he always told me.
I do not.
No, it's a hard no.
You know what you need to do? You need to do a segment on this show like you did over at your former employer, where you had him taste things.
Like
That's one of the great
Stocking
segments of all time.
It is.
Yeah.
You know what?
Stockpile eats.
He's not teaching Thursday or Friday. So he said if I need him, he'd be willing to step in. And so maybe Friday I can make some stuff here at the house. He can come out.
Stockpile eats.
And we're going to do that.
Yeah.
That's a great idea. All right, Tommy, feel better. All right, buddy? I appreciate you.
I will.
All right. That is Tom Kakert, right here on Off Day with Matt Randazzo. It was fun at Carver Hawkeye. I can't wait to get to a game. I was hoping to get up there on Friday, but I'm not because my wife's out of town, so I got to stay here. So that's okay. We'll get up there for a game here real soon. Intriguing and a good start for both Iowa women, Iowa men, Illinois men playing really well. Iowa State looked great as well. Jake Brenn tomorrow, hopefully on the show. Trying to line up Ken Prince for tomorrow on the show, so we'll talk Iowa State and Illinois coming up tomorrow. I don't know why people wouldn't watch this show every day. Like, I got you covered. Like, if you're an Iowa fan, Illinois fan, Iowa State fan, high school-wise, we'll take care of you. Speaking of high school-wise, Moline, one of the teams in Illinois, is still alive in the high school football playoffs. Their coach, Mike Morrissey, will talk about their big game coming up with Glenbard North this weekend and a whole bunch more. You're watching OTA on a Wednesday right here in the Quad Cities. Are you looking to take your next party, tailgate, or golf outing to the next level? You need Mobile Party Experience. MPX features 3 top-of-the-line party trailers equipped with all the amenities you need to party like a rock star. Smart TVs, Yeti coolers, JBL sound systems, grills, bathrooms, and much more. Mobile Party Experience is an experience like no other. Check out my-mpx.com or call 563-514-1470 and book your Mobile Party Experience today.
Give me the keys. Learning to drive can be stressful for both the student and, yes, the parent as well. Relax. There's an easy way to avoid the stress. Skiles Driving School in East Moline has been helping new drivers hit the road with confidence for over 20 years. Whether you're a teen earning your first license or an adult looking for behind-the-wheel training, we've got you covered. Their certified instructors are patient, experienced, and use modern vehicles equipped for safety and comfort. From classroom instruction to real-world driving, we make learning safe, affordable, and even fun. Call 309-278-0098 or visit skylesdriving.com. Skiles Driving School. Get in, buckle up, drive your future forward.
Welcome back to Off the Air with Matt Randazzo here on a Wednesday in the Quad Cities. Week 2 of the high school football postseason is quickly approaching, and on the Illinois side, several teams still alive in the postseason, including in 7A, where Moline continues their fantastic season. They beat Andrew 24-0 on Friday night, and now they prepare for Glenbard North coming up this week and a road trip. And joining us now to talk all about it, the head coach of the Moline Maroons, Mike Morrissey. First and foremost, my friend, thank you for doing this. I know you have a busy week, but I figure it's morning time. You're probably like napping like most of you head coaches do, hanging out, stuff like that, right? Not too much to do.
You know, Ellen Garcia is our PE department head here, and she takes unbelievable care of me and makes sure that, you know, it's not overly busy, but yet I got to do my job. I mean, if I don't do my job, I'm going to get in some trouble too.
Yeah, no, I get you. Before we look ahead to a really good Glenbard North team, let's look back at Saturday. I think I said Friday night, but it should be Saturday. Andrew came in there, and I thought it was a deceiving record. You looked at their body of work and some of the teams they barely lost to, some 8-1 teams that they battled. Correct. I thought it was going to be a good first-round test. Talk about, one, you just want to win and survive in advance. I get it. But what did you see from your guys on Saturday that you liked?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, when you go into a game like that, anytime in the postseason in 7A, you're going to be challenged. And the combined losses of the teams that they had lost to was like a total of 5 games. You know, there's 3 one-loss teams and then a 2-loss team. All of them were in the playoffs. 3 out of the 4 are still in the playoffs. So we knew that it wasn't going to be a pushover. We knew that we'd have to come in and be pretty good, fundamentally sound on both sides of the ball. Obviously, defensively, I mean, we were just on another level. And I think that was kind of the catalyst behind some of the momentum shifts and like a big 4th down stop. And then, you know, getting stops and having them to punt and put us in a good field position. Like we've done some great things defensively. And anytime that you cause that many turnovers in a game, you know, the percentages of you winning it just goes up and up and up. So, you know, we had to capitalize a little bit offensively and kind of find a rhythm at some point because they are a good defensive team. But, you know, I was proud of the way our guys, you know, handled some of the adversity early on and then just continue to persevere through it.
You mentioned that defense, and it's almost like if you've listened to View from the West, we've had you on, and even on this show, we almost like we're now giving them almost not too much love, but you don't talk about the defense. But that defense is special. Hate giving Crick Sandamore more and more love, but it's a really good unit. And if you're like, Mike, I don't know the last time you guys gave up more than 7 points in a game. You might, but what is it about that defense right now that's playing at such a high level? You're not just doing it early in the season against a bad football team. I mean, you're doing it in big 6 games, and now when you do it in the postseason, something's working on that side of the football.
Yeah, I mean, it's we heard this yesterday, and this is crazy. And inevitably, we're going to give this up at some point. But our starting defense has not given up a score in 7 weeks, and that's just that's a crazy stat. You know, I mean, that's crazy. You can't even wrap your head around it. Nobody had any clue because we hadn't really thought about it that in depth. But these guys, our defensive staff, and obviously the guys that we have playing on the defensive side of the ball, have really bought into what we're doing. We've really done. We do a lot of different fundamental things pretty much every week. So we do keep a routine, but they prepare these kids the right way. And then the other piece, you know, as you know, or anybody knows, like when you get 15, 16, 17, 18-year-old kids that are playing confident and believe in what they're doing and understand what their role is, the speed it becomes faster and faster and faster with what they're able to play at. And I think that's been the catalyst behind things. You know, these kids are confident, they're playing fast, they fly to the ball. They want to wreak havoc. They want to create turnovers. They want to celebrate those successes with each other. You know, I think that's the biggest thing. When you watch a big play happen or a turnover happen defensively, these guys are all going crazy for each other, and it's in practice the same way. You know, they go nuts. They talk a lot of trash. Sometimes when I throw an interception in practice, I hear about it. You know, those types of things. Like they are pretty relentless with that stuff. But at the same time, it's because they're confident and they believe in their ability and they're excited to be out there with each other. And you know, there's nothing more rewarding than that.
Can you talk about some of those guys? Because we hear the guys on offense and the guys scoring touchdowns, but obviously you don't want to point out because you got 11 guys that are working in his unit. But John Marks was on the show on Monday, and he's Drew Phelps. He was mentioning him as one of the best defensive players in the conference. Now, Johnny's saying that because Drew's dad, Darren, probably made him throw up back in the day working out. Darren made me throw up as well. That's
probably true.
So we have to be very nice, but obviously a fantastic talent. Can you pick out some of those guys that maybe don't get the love that they should from the media because they're on that side of the football?
Yeah, I mean, our defensive line, I think that's the big thing. I mean, obviously, you have Drew and Keaton Chalder and Hassan Nadai and those guys and Alex Ocean, all these defensive backs and secondary linebacker guys that are making plays all over the place with interceptions, things like that. But our defensive line is probably as good as any defensive line we've had since I've been here. You know, you got guys like Musa and Elijah Martin, Latorian Hill that rotates in, D'Anthony Simpson, you know, Dylan DeCrane. We have a deep defensive line. I mean, it's really deep. And honestly, a bunch of them were all conference kids, you know, and that makes a difference, like 2-year all conference kids. So those guys are able to do what their job entails to be able to open up some other things on the back end. Like Elijah Martin, it was a first team all conference kid as a junior. Elijah doesn't make every play, but what you'll see on film is Elijah will take that center and put him 1.5 yards in the backfield. And all of a sudden, everything that they're trying to do is disrupted because of his get off and his ability to do that. So D'Anthony Simpson's the same way. You know, statistically, he's got some really good statistics, but he's so quick and he's so hard to defend and block that it causes havoc. You know, and these guys are starting to embrace that. They understand that they're not always going to make the tackles because that's not always how it works in a 3-4 defense. But what they do is always celebrated, you know, with us on the practice field or with our coaching staff or in film because of the way that they handle their business and do their job and create other opportunities for their teammates. And that's really what it comes down to. Like, these guys are so selfless and care about each other and love each other so much. They're willing to do whatever it is that their job entails to be successful as a defensive unit. And that's been fun to watch. And especially when we didn't really know, I'll be honest, like when we broke in July and had that dead week, there was a lot of concern just about our team in general, about where we were and what our identity was going to be and how things were all going to fit, you know, with the different pieces we had. And when we came back in August, it was a completely different beast. And I know that is a lot of the player-led stuff that happened during that dead week to kind of bond together as a team and put in a little extra time as a team. And they came back just completely refocused and re-energized. And I think that was kind of the catalyst, you know, to kind of push towards some of the success we've had.
Moline's Mike Morrissey joining us right now in OTA. Coach, you look at this week coming up, and you got a road trip to a very good opponent, Glenbard North, and we kind of talked a little bit. They went on the road last week and won at Yorkville and didn't allow a point. What do you see from them? Obviously, anytime you're playing at the level that you're playing and the time of year you're playing, you're going to get a good opponent. What do you see from them?
Correct.
It's going to be a tough test this weekend.
Yeah, so we went up there in 2023 and played a week 1 game against Glenbard North. And so those kids, I mean, all of our kids have seen Glenbard North. All of their kids have seen I've seen us. That's kind of the unique part about this is that we did play a regular season game. They're always going to be really well coached. Their coaching staff is tremendous. That's why they've had, the longevity of success that they've had at Glenbard North is because of some of the things that they do. They are talented. They are gigantic up front. They have a huge group on the offensive line, especially. They have an inside linebacker who's probably the best linebacker that we've seen all season long. I mean, he is tremendous. They got a defensive back who's defensive back receiver who is getting the accolades that he deserves because he's a dynamic player and he can blow the top off of a secondary real quick. And they're just a great program. One of my best friends played there. He's a Cook County sheriff now. He played there as a player years and years ago, and they were really talented then, and they were really well coached then. So they have a great tradition. I think the atmosphere is going to be outstanding. It's going to be absolutely packed on both sides, and it should be because they're a good program with a lot of historic success. And then obviously, we're trying to break through a barrier that we haven't been through yet, and that's one of those things that our kids have embraced. And we might not talk about it as much because this group is just so centrally focused on the task at hand and going out and really just competing at the highest level that we can and letting everything take care of itself. My dad talks about it at practice every day. Like, look, if you give it total effort, everything else will take care of itself. Okay. Everything else takes care of itself all the time, always. And that's kind of always been our mantra and kind of what we believe in. So it's going to have to be that same way when you go up and play a really talented team that played in a gauntlet of a conference. It's going to be a challenge for sure.
You look at it, Coach, you might be looking at my questions because that was my next question about getting to that barrier, doing something that, and this group, it seems special. And we've talked about it throughout the season and what they're doing on the field. And you kind of talked about the balance, but it is a motivator. You mentioned the kids have that motivating factor, but it can't become the only thing or the dominant factor.
No.
Kind of talk about the balance. And have you mentioned it this week? Is it that week where you start making idiots like me and do dumb shows and The View from the West is going to talk about it? Like there's more talk about it. Do you have to tell them to not listen to the big-eared guy that does a YouTube show? Or what do you tell them about the hype around it because it's talked about too much?
No, they love listening to you guys. I mean, you guys are the best, and what you guys do for high school sports in our area is second to none. So they embrace that. They love it. We have not talked about it. And I think maybe part of the issue, like early on, is that I talked about it, I don't want to say too much, but it was mentioned. And it's like, okay, you already know. Like everybody already knows. And we've always felt confident going into our second round games in our ability and our kids and stuff like that. So it's not like anything changed, but it's unique when like on Saturday night, we got done with our game. And I'm just going to share this real quick because I think it's pretty cool. We got done with our game on Saturday night. Or, we get the film from Glenbard North like 8:30-ish, something like that. By 11:30 p.m., okay, Caden Banker, who is a freshman at Central Connecticut State, he's hurt, so he's redshirting this year. By 11:30 p.m., I get an email and a text from him initially saying, hey, I sent you an email. Take a look. That he had broken down the entire defensive line of Glenbard North. Wow. He had sent like a player-by-player breakdown with statistics, with accolades, with previous stuff. Like, and I'm looking at this thing and I'm like, one, like, yes, we're going to hire you when you're done playing because like you have a niche for this stuff. But two, like, that's how much our kids that have played for us previously care about the future success of the kids that are here now. And that is unique sometimes. Like sometimes there's groups that don't want those kids to be as successful or think like there's always like a weird feel sometimes. But I texted him back and I thanked him, told him how much I love him. And then his text back was literally just like, I just want to see you guys win. Like, and that was it. Like that's awesome. In John Nienhaus, we get that stuff, or Grant Sibley, like we get that all the time. Like, yes, everybody wants us to break through this barrier and everybody wants us to get to that quarterfinal game. But I think more importantly, the guys that have played for us and the guys that have been in our program just want to see the next group have success. And whether it be a first round playoff win, a second round playoff win, whatever, they just want to see that. And I think that's what's pretty cool. And our guys know, our kids know it. They know what our history is as a program, and obviously they all want to be the ones to make history for us. But I think the biggest thing, for me and our coaching staff is we just want to spend more time with these guys. Like, I know when you say that, it sounds like, oh yeah, whatever. Like we do. I love these kids. We love these kids. We love being around them. So that small impact that we may make in their life, like we don't want to see that cut short anytime soon. And we want to enjoy this ride as long as possible.
So Brian Stocking has been known to be pessimistic at times. And I don't know why he sent me this text, me and Greg, last night. And do you know the last time Moline won a road playoff game?
maybe never.
What year were you born?
82.
Okay, so you were alive for it. 1991, they beat Pekin at Pekin 12-6.
Okay, yeah.
Time. So why Brian Stocking sends me this, we don't know. But it's those kind of things, and just kind of talk about that, because it's this year and this team, but you just kind of brought it up. Like, it's not just the recent guys that played for you. There's a lot of Moline people, and you know this, that are pulling. The old guys are pulling just as much as the recent Maroons as well.
Correct. I think that's what's unique and obviously you love about our football brotherhood and our fraternity of that. But I mean, winning on the road in the second round in general is really going to be challenging in 7A because, like you said, earlier, like they're all good. Every team that's left in there's only 16 teams left. They're all good. They're all here for a reason. Like, it's not like they sat there and during the regular season just kind of got some gifts and then the playoffs got some gifts. If you're in the second round of the playoffs in 7A, you have a good football team and you have a talented team and you have really good coaching and you have things that you're going to see that you're going to go up against. And this is no different. And obviously, since I've been here, we've been on the road to Willowbrook, once in the second round. We've been to Batavia in the second round. We've obviously going up to Glenbard North. We've been to Quincy. So, like, there are challenges. And all of those teams were good. All of them. And all of them were quarterfinalists, semifinalists, those years. Like, they were all really good. So they kept going along. And that's a challenge. But I mean, I think at the same time, what we've talked about with our guys, like, yes, Glenbard North is good. Whoever, if we got there that we would see in the quarterfinals is going to be good. You're also a good team. You've done the things to put yourself in that position to be successful in the postseason. And it started back in January. So, 1991 is a long time ago. It's a long, long time ago. I know. I mean, and that's another thing that just kind of sits and hovers over us sometimes. But I think with high school kids, like most of the things that they do or learn, it's in one ear and not the other most of the time. So, like, they hear it, but they're able to be like, okay, short memory, we're gonna just focus on what we're doing, and this group's been pretty good with that.
It's just Brian Stocking being pessimistic.
God, why does he got to do that?
He's just, I want him to be happy. I tell you, he needs happiness in his life. Anyways, last one for you. I know you're focused on yourself, but there is another Western Big 6 team playing when it comes to Geneseo, and I know you're good friends with Matt Furlong. To see what they did last Friday night and the way they did it, they got a great opportunity, I believe, to go to Macomb and win and get to a quarterfinal game. I get it. Like during the year, you're rooting for yourself and you're worried about yourself in the Western Big 6, but I know you're rooting for your other Western Big 6 teams, including, obviously Geneseo is the only one left coming up this week as well.
Yeah, Matt's one of my best friends, and I went to the game on Friday. I mean, I had to I couldn't just sit at home on a Friday night. I was going like stir crazy, so I did go to the game Friday. I hung out with Matt's wife and his brother-in-law and watched the game, and I can tell you, like, for a second there at the end, I almost like forgot like where I was and who I was cheering for. Like, you just got so excited to see those kids. You drive down, you go for two, you don't get it. Everybody in the stadium, you could feel it kind of deflate a little bit, like, but on their sidelines, that wasn't the case. Like, there was still like some feel. And when they ran out to kick that onside kick and then got it, obviously everybody went crazy, but that's a credit to Matt and his staff and those kids at Geneseo, because they believed. There was never a moment at the end of that game where they did not believe that they were going to win that game. And you could see it, you could feel it, and I'm sitting in the back of the end zone on the far side when they were driving down. They completed that fourth down pass, and then they go to kick the field goal. And I can tell you, I know the young man that kicked it said he didn't hit it right, and like it knuckleballed. And I'm like, oh my gosh, is it going to make it? Like,
that was amazing.
And I mean, I'm sitting all the way back, and then he hit it, and we're just going nuts. And and I was thankful that after the game, I stood back and let them enjoy that moment, because that was just such a special moment for them and their community and their student body. And I got to go and give Matt a hug and tell him how happy I was for him and all that kind of stuff, because it's pretty cool, and I've respected Matt for a very long time. I mean, we've known each other since we were like 5-6 years old, so it goes back that long. But I've respected what he's done as a coach for a very, very long time, and everything he's been able to accomplish. And I think going to Macomb is a really good opportunity for them, because I think they're playing confident. Like we've talked about all day today. Like, they're playing confident. They believe in their ability. They believe in the scheme. They believe in their coaches, and vice versa. And for sure, when we're done, I'll be looking to see how they did. Because it's going to be an exciting Saturday, hopefully for both programs.
Geneseo has won 6 straight games. Moline has won 9 straight. Make it 10 straight. Good luck this week on the road. Get the job done, and then we can talk about a quarterfinal home game coming up next week as well. Thank
Love
you,
it,
my
man.
friend.
I look forward to it.
I appreciate it.
Thanks, Matt.
All right. That is Mike Morrissey, head coach at Moline. A big weekend for them. We're going to catch up with Geneseo tomorrow. See if we can. I don't want to bug Coach Furlong. I might try to do something with Kai Weinzerl, maybe something like that to kind of get set up for that game. A lot of great games coming up this weekend on the Illinois side. Wilton's still live on the Iowa side as well. We got more to get to. Coming up after the break, it's our weekly Ness Guess segment. We'll do it live, or not live. We did it yesterday at Hungry Hobo. Marc Nesseler and Ness Guess next right here on Off the Air.
Hello, Dan Pearson here of FCA. Our team is thrilled to support Off the Air with our good friend Matt Randazzo. We share the view of the power of sport when it comes to relationships, including the influence of the coach. FCA believes the coach is the most influential person in America. Matt celebrates local coaches and athletes. His content is informational, insightful, and inspirational. Our Fellowship of Christian Athlete team loves partnering with Off the Air with Matt Randazzo while we engage, equip, and empower coaches and athletes in our 23 counties. FCA, the heart and soul in sports.
View from the West, the podcast covering Illinois high school football.
It's going to be a hard-hitting game. It's going to be great football.
Weekly analysis and reaction from around the western side of the state of Illinois.
This is the game we had circled when the year started.
Follow along on YouTube and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts.
It's big-time football out there tonight, and I know we can play big-time football.
View from the West. We got you covered.
Are you looking for the Quad City's best chips and salsa? There's only one dude to turn to.
Right on.
Snoop. Hand-cut chips, fried fresh with that crunch you've come to love. And the most addicting salsa with delicious fresh ingredients each and every time. Pick up your chips and salsa, queso, enchiladas, and much more at the Stern Center in Rock Island. To place your order, simply call the man himself. It's Snoop at 309-314-8197 and find out for yourself what the rest of the Quad Cities already loves. Welcome back to Off the Air with Matt Randazzo here on a Wednesday in the Quad Cities. Of course, Wednesday means Ness Guess Day, and it's weird. It's already Wednesday in the week, which is weird. Crazy. It's Tuesday while we do this, but it's Wednesday, which means Ness Guess. I like the hat.
Thanks.
Take me through the hat.
Well, I was going to wear a cowboy hat, but Vanderbilt did not win.
Yeah.
They should have won. Well, they got behind so far early in the game.
Came
back. I thought there's not enough time left. So I thought, I thought about, if you'd have won with Seattle over the Commanders. Well, I had the Seattle, you had the Commanders. If the Commanders would have won, I would have wore my Blake Shelton hat. Think of Blake Shelton's initials. It sunk in. I could see the moment. I could see the second that sunk in.
I like that.
I'm saving that for like when I get totally wiped out, and I almost got totally wiped out.
Yeah.
Like you hit Texas, and then you hit.
So we had four different. I almost got all four.
Yeah, I know you almost hit all four, and I would have missed. I might not have shown up.
I had Texas over Vandy. I had the Broncos
Carson
over the Texans.
He would.
I had the Steelers.
Yeah.
So I hit those three, and then
we had four different.
I had the Commanders.
Now, if you'd have hit all four, then I would have called the technical foul on you as a Ness Guess, like the guy who did the contest for.
You were my editor.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what you did for a living.
I did this time
how many bad articles did like Wendland and Tappa and all those yahoos? You had to fix them. You fixed my work.
I'm just saying that, like, when he sent me his picks, he had Vanderbilt as his pick,
and then I explained why.
But then he explained that Texas should win because. Well, if that was me back in the day, my readers would call me out and said, "Hey, no, you picked Vanderbilt, even though your explanation didn't say so." But
it's a good thing things have changed in this world.
And you caught it in time, so we'll give you that. And now I lead by 3. Yeah. It was 5, and now it's 3. It could have been 1. It could have been 1, man. And we're week 10 now, so we're We're back down the home stretch,
Yeah.
November, December. It's exciting.
It's going to be good. It's going to be
So,
good.
yep.
So anyone that is wondering what we're doing, where we are, all that kind of stuff, Ness Guess, awesome pick'em contest started over 40 years ago. 37 years it was running strong.
Yeah, 43 years
Ness
ago.
took some years off, and I said, we got to get this thing back and going again. So we're doing it through Off the Air. Thank you to everyone who's subscribing, and thank you to Hungry Hobo. That's where we're at. Hungry Hobo, a fantastic
Love it.
sponsor.
Love Hungry
Not
Hobo.
just of Off the Air, but an exclusive sponsor of the Ness Guess contest.
Yes.
And all the winners each week get a great prize from Hungry Hobo. And of course, Ness and I are competing. You can check out our picks every week on social media. And the loser will take a pie in the face from the winner. And we did this back in the day when you were at the newspaper. And I was at
and
the TV
there was a
station.
time. There was a
And
time
you
earlier in this
constantly
contest.
just kept peppering me with
I
pies
felt
every year.
I felt comfortable with the fact that I wasn't going to have to take that. But now it's looking like, man, only 3 games.
Yeah.
So I went with my lucky hat. And I went with my lucky bobbleheads.
You got to talk about these.
So this one I got in Vegas, and I was actually
It's
in
legit Ness.
It's so,
Marc Nesseler.
So actually, in 2007 and in 2009, I was in Quad Cities Dancing with the Stars.
Yep, I remember it.
And that was my outfit right there. You can tell I've gained a little bit of weight.
Not
my
at
legs,
all.
My legs are a little thin there, but yeah, that's and that hat. That hat was one of my favorites. This is not that hat because I wore that hat to a country music festival in Kissimmee.
Did you lose it or something?
Oh no, it rained, downpour rain.
So it ruined it.
And yeah, it ruined.
So why didn't you get another one?
I did, but this is
Okay.
I couldn't get that exact same hat.
Why not?
I've looked.
Oh man,
I've
that
looked. Look, okay, viewers, if you see that hat, tell me where I can get it because I would
What
love
brand
to have that
was
one.
it?
I can't even. Oh, Tommy Bahama.
I'm gonna
I thought it was
work.
Tommy Bahama.
I'm gonna work on it because
Tommy Bahama.
you need to get a 70th birthday gift. So that would be a sweet.
That
I'm gonna
could be
work
it.
on that.
You could give me a 70th birthday gift.
Jen,
I'd
if
let-
you're watching this, which she's not, but I'll show you later at home. Like we got to figure that out.
Yeah, but you could give me like a win by 4 games. You
No.
could get 4 really bad games.
No.
That would be a nice gift.
No.
Over here we got Jimmy Buffett, parrot head number 1. I think it looks a lot like Jimmy.
Yeah.
It's got the parrot on the arm.
It's a good one
It's
because
got
some of
what-
these bobbleheads don't look a thing like them.
Yeah, well, that
So
one
that's-
does. Well,
this one does.
I had a Lou Brock one that I was going to bring in. Didn't look anything
Yeah.
like him. So I said, no, we're just going to stick with Jimmy and myself. I like those 2, and I feel like, they give me the vibe that I need to have going into week 10.
No, I like it. I like
That's
it.
where
So you're up by 3. God, I wish I was up by 3. I don't think I've ever led you in this competition ever.
No, but I'm a little,
I mean, in life,
I was thinking about wire to wire, and that was,
it'd be great.
That'd be nice. But
So,
I'm
so
not
we got
comfortable at
interesting
all.
games this week. But before we do our games this week
have
and our picks
winners.
this
We gotta
week,
talk about winners.
We got to talk about our winners because we're always there. It seems like almost every week there's a tie. Not
And
every
there-
single week, but this
and
again there
is
was 4.
Four-way tie. Dane Miller was okay. So they were all 15-4. Now,
which is amazing considering the amount of upsets there were in,
so
in the
I
NFL
was
alone.
brutal, 10-9. You were 12-7.
I'll take that.
Yeah, 15. Yeah, you'll take that.
With this week, like I was in Forefield. We won't talk a lot about that, but like I had a buddy text message me like, there's a crazy week and the NFL is loaded, which means like, and I looked around, I looked at the scoreboard and like the Packers were losing and the Lions were losing. And there was just a lot of upsets.
Yeah.
So to go 15-4 in this
is
week
amazing.
is awesome.
And especially the college. The college, you were
4-2. You were 3-3.
Yeah, 3-3, 4-2.
Mm-hmm.
So even on the college, that was tough. And I thought, the Vanderbilt one killed me. That was just, and I wanted to wear my cowboy hat. I was ready to. Didn't happen. But I did wear also for Carson, I wore my 6'7" sweatshirt. So like, okay, so he's cheering. I got your kid cheering for me.
He comes here every week and he's like, I'm gonna pay attention until Ness says 6'7", and then he's done.
And then he's gone.
And he's usually done.
So we got 3 others. That
but I
went
do want to
15-4.
mention Dane Miller. I texted him and let him know, hey, you won. First off, this show is, and I mean, it is not possible. So you can either thank Dane or blame Dane, whichever way you want to do that.
I like the
everything we've done when
Thank
it
him.
comes to technology and everything that we're doing. Like Dane spent too many hours up in my loft helping me figure it out and basically just doing it and then training me how to do it. So I bug him all the time with stuff and nonsense. And he's always there to do it. So he deserves to win. I'm glad that he did.
hobo
But I
coming.
texted him and he said, he goes, really? He's like, I just randomly pick teams. So
Wow.
there's the secret. It's just
Just
sometimes randomly
gone
so if
down.
you know nothing about football,
There you go.
it costs nothing to get in. Log on, like do a Dane and get on there and randomly pick
Pick
teams.
all
So
the teams on the right side.
I'm thrilled that he won. So you can't thank him enough for everything he's done. So this is awesome.
So we also have Jeff Schneider.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if that's like the Major League Baseball Jeff Schneider that when I was young, played for
Maybe.
the Orioles.
It
Played
might
for the
be.
Orioles. If it is, give me a shout out because I'd love to hear from him. Doug Stevens and Matt Noe.
Okay.
are our 3 that
they all went 15-4.
Yeah, bridesmaids all went 15-4. But there's always this week.
Which it's funny, Justin Rossler, who usually always gets second, I said, like,
that's right.
Second place is first loser. So,
I'll
work
see
on
him,
it.
I'll see him this weekend at the Rock Island, whatever it's called, the Rock and Raffle.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm at that. So I haven't missed one of those in a long time.
And when you normally get signed in, we try to follow up with an email the next week to remind you. Some people are telling me I don't get the email. So hopefully the master email goes out, but it's going to be a big, long email. So, it's not. I think some people are getting. Anyways, just go to our social media. And we're working on a website. We're going to start launching a website eventually. So that means we can have one-stop shopping where you don't have to go to that social media all the time as well. So nice group that won. Our nice group, in a good group that came in and a lot of entries. So we appreciate that as well as we get rocking and rolling. We're going to get to the picks this week as well, but I did. Going to Detroit stinks when you lose, man. There should be a refund because tickets are stupid expensive.
Really?
Here, I'm not gonna.
Okay,
I don't want to say it out loud.
Write it down.
But I'll let you.
I probably don't even want to look because I'm teaching a course on budgeting. Yep.
Each.
Wow. Whoa. And you have a big family.
Yeah, 6. That's 6 of us that go in there.
Wow,
so when they play like garbage and lose. Then I feel like they should come and give you I don't know if I need all of it back.
And I thought
maybe a little bit of it back.
And you know what I thought? I thought Dazzo would probably trade in that victory for the Lions for 3 Ness Guess.
If I can do that, I'll take a victory. Because we normally would stay up there and come back on Monday. Kids had too much stuff going on, so we literally got in the car. And I'm just thinking, it won't be a bad drive because we can listen to the post game for a while. I don't want to listen to the post game. I didn't want to listen to any football. So, anyways, we're good. We're through it.
So was it a case of McCarthy actually being good? No. What happened?
So the Vikings, they scored on the first drive, which they had a kickoff return deep into enemy territory,
right?
And then the Lions fumbled deep, which they turned into 7 points, and then they had a blocked field goal return down into the side. So every time the Vikings scored, it was like a short field. Yeah, it was just they played like garbage, and that's why I want my money back. If they would have played good and that lost to a better team, then I would have been like, okay, but I want my money back. So
that tightened up the Central too. Is it
the
Central
the
North?
The North. I see.
It used to be the Central.
No, I get you.
It used to be the Central. But the Packers lost and the Bears won.
Yeah.
And I can't believe the Bears won. I mean,
and the way they did it was crazy.
Flacco had a career day.
Yeah.
With a bad shoulder.
Yeah.
And I think
nearly 500 yards passing.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah. But the Bears, it's
so now the Bears are right in the
Manungai.
Yeah.
He looks great.
Who needs Swift?
Well, it's the offensive line. I tell people and we'll talk about the Bears in a second, but I tell people all the time when they got Ben Johnson, everyone's like, oh, he's going to be great for Caleb. No, he wants to run the football first, and that's what they're doing in Chicago, and that usually means good things. So
and they didn't had Swift one time, and the guy whose name I can't pronounce.
Manungai.
Yeah, that's it.
Manungai, something
like that.
That was, who was it?
He did well.
Johnny was on Monday, and before we got on there, he's like, I still don't know how to pronounce the Bears running back's name. I'm like, you just got to own it. You just got to say whatever with confidence.
And people believe it.
Yeah.
Just act like you know what you're talking
about. See, you guys, you newspaper guys, you just have to spell it. We have to say it.
Spell
I know
it.
It's harder. So, anyways, we got a great week this week, and I'm wearing the the Hawkeye pregame 3/4 zip. So
that looks nice.
Or 1/4? Is it a quarter zip? Not 3/4. Whatever it is. Yeah. No, I like it. It's really nice. But anyways,
nice.
Thank you. That's the big game this week, and I kind of wanted to start with that because it's Iowa at Oregon, Ness, and it's a huge game. Iowa 6-2. They win. They're 7-2. And it's funny because Nebraska losing last week and also losing their quarterback makes Iowa's last game, I thought it was winnable to begin with, but now much more. They got 2 games to end the season they should win. So now they got these 2 tough games coming. It's at Kinnick. It's a 2:30 game. So by 4:30 in the second half, it's going to be dark. It's a night game at Kinnick, kind of. Yeah. Great environment, all those kind of things. Oregon's just really good.
They are.
And it's not the Oregon.
They lost to Indiana. Is that right?
No, they lost. Yes, they lost to Indiana.
Yeah, lost to Indiana. And they beat Penn State.
And Iowa lost to Indiana. And Iowa was closer.
Overtime. Yeah.
And they beat Penn State in overtime. Iowa beat them. Now, it was a different Penn State team. Iowa got Penn State without their coach, without their starting quarterback, so a much different thing. Now, you can't do the removable theory or whatever, but Iowa beat Wisconsin up there 37-0. They beat them 21-7.
21-7. So they both gave up 7.
Yeah, those gave up 7. So we had Scott Docterman on Monday, and he's with the Athletic, and yes, he covered Iowa for a while, but he picked Oregon, I think, by 3. But he's like, this isn't a game where Iowa has to be perfect to win. Like, Iowa will make it a game and all of those kind of things. It should be a really good game. I'll let you go first.
Well,
I kind of,
I
and
think
I'm contractually obligated.
I don't have a Hawkeye 1 quarter.
Is it a quarter
or
zip
three
or 3
quarter
quarters?
zip?
I don't know.
Whatever quarter zip. I don't have one of those. If I had one of those, I might feel like I need to pick Iowa. But I don't, so I'm going to go with Oregon.
6-point favorite, I think.
And I'm just going to duck.
Oh, I like it. I like that. That's well done.
Thanks.
Well, I will go Iowa, obviously, and I do think they got a good chance to win.
Yeah.
I'm almost more concerned, and my good friend Tom Kakert almost convinced me of this too, and I don't think it's an easy game, and they could lose this weekend. I get all that, but USC might be more difficult on the road and on the West Coast the following week.
Yeah.
They go to USC, good football team on the road. Iowa hasn't won out West in like 30 years or something like that. It's crazy.
This is the kind of game that you could sneak up and grab.
Yeah.
I mean, really could.
Yep.
I'm a little worried about it. I'm interested in seeing where we go with the rest of these.
But that's the first one. No, I already know what. So with that being said, just a friendly reminder, I always get to do this. The Hawkeye Tailgate Show comes on the air on the Hawkeye Radio Network all over the state. Here in the Quad Cities, new home affiliate. It's 107.7 Vintage FM, WQUD. Not to get confused with WQAD. So I went from the A to the U.
Wow.
And
okay.
that starts at 2:30
That's golden.
or 12:30, I should say. If
you don't even get that, do you? AU is golden.
Oh, the periodic table.
Yeah.
Wow, he's way too smart to be in sports. Like honestly, you're way too you killed a curve for the rest of us idiots that are in the business.
That's good.
If you're at Kinnick Stadium, we're at Krause Family Plaza, 12:30 to 1:30. Stop by, say hi. I know Pat Anger will be on with me, the honorary captain. I don't know exactly who it is yet, but that gets announced probably right after the show. We'll have a bunch of media guests and stuff too. So stop by, say hi, and all those kind of things as well.
Yep.
Elsewhere in. We got to talk about Iowa State.
Okay.
Four straight weeks I have picked Iowa State, and I have lost.
Yep.
They now go
so I
on.
think you should probably.
So now they go on the road to TCU, right?
TCU, yes.
It's on the road.
Yeah, and TCU 6-2.
You want me to go first?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Gosh darn it, I can't.
You're
and Iowa State's really
I remember there was once a day where
I
you
can't
told
go
me,
Iowa State. I can't.
There was once a day when you told me there's no way Iowa State could lose 3 in a row.
I almost said
remember,
2 in a row.
I think you said
and now
3
it's
in a
3,
row.
Now it's 4.
And now it's 4 in a row.
And I'm almost like one of those like.
So if you want to be consistent,
I'm stubborn.
Like
I'm stubborn. Where like,
well, there you go.
You're baiting me into taking.
I am.
I ain't doing it. But I thought about it on the way here. I'm like, I should for consistency's sake. But I can't. You know what? I already gave you one early in the season when I picked Central Michigan to beat Pittsburgh.
Yeah, you could give me
for my guy Matt Drinkle. By the way, congratulations to Matt Drinkle. Central Michigan's doing great. We're up there in the state of Michigan. They lost to Western Michigan, a big favorite, but Matt Drinkle's doing great. Bettendorf native, and his wife had a baby on Friday. Nice. Their third baby, and then he made it down to the game in time after they got discharged. So congratulations to Matt Drinkle. With that being said, I'm going to take TCU.
Well, I'm taking the Christians.
Yeah, of course.
Texas Christian.
The guy
Quad Cities Christian.
The guy who watches football at church on Sunday. That makes sense.
Morning.
By the way, there is a 8:30 game.
Is there really coming this week? Oh, yes, I thought I was over those
this week. So
man, I was doing so well.
Which other? What are the other? There's because we have not
Let's see. We got
because Illinois is off.
Well,
this
we got
weekend.
BYU, Texas Tech. We got Nebraska, UCLA, Texas A&M, Missouri. You got those 3.
I'll let you pick which one you want to talk about.
Well, wow. You know, you guys tipped me off on Nebraska UCLA because you said their quarterback got hurt. I was unaware of that.
Oh yeah, darn! I gotta be quiet. Yeah, Nebraska's quarterback's out for the year now.
Oh, out for the year.
He was out. He went out of that game. Couldn't come back in, and now he's out for the year.
I was leaning Nebraska just because of comparative scores.
And UCLA's just like been weird this year.
They
were really bad. Fired their coach, and they got really good. They beat Penn State.
Yeah,
it's a weird.
I think I'd like to talk about BYU Texas Tech.
I'm intrigued with what you can do with Nebraska.
Huh?
But I'll read it.
Well,
here.
you'll get to read
I'll read
that
it here
one.
coming up.
BYU Texas Tech. I'm going to go back to something that you said.
Gosh, quick quote.
And that was I like quotes.
It's going to get you in trouble though.
Well,
these days.
I know, could be.
I tell Dan Birch all the time. Dan Birch taught me a lot of good things. And taught me a lot. Not all good, but he taught me a lot. So,
well. You once said that there's no way that BYU is going to run the table. Do you remember?
Yes.
Saying that? Remember saying that?
It was a perfect time for Iowa State.
And it was it was BYU probably should not have won that game.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with that strategy.
Okay.
And say there's no way Because I was looking at the top 20.
Yeah.
And okay, you've got Ohio State, you've got Indiana,
Yeah.
and you've got the Texas A&M.
Yeah.
The 3 undefeateds.
Yep.
And then there's BYU down a little bit
Yeah.
lower. Could they crawl up into that
With the
hunt,
victory they do?
that bye, that first round bye?
Yeah.
No, I'm going to go Texas Tech to pin the first loss on BYU.
I'm going to go BYU.
There we go.
I'm going to go
Now we're
BYU
talking.
simply because I think I
It's getting
discredited.
it's getting dirty
so,
now.
So Jake Brend, who's on the show all the time, kind of discredited them early, and he had me kind of thinking that way. I picked against them. I was impressed with them going to Iowa State, and they were healthier than Iowa State. I think of the Iowa State losses, that one was the most impressive for BYU to come in there and do that. I think they do the same thing. They love to run the football. They're a tough physical football team. I think they control the time of possession. I think they win that football
We're
game.
setting up to have the colleges make a difference as we go into the NFL.
I love it.
I mean, we have 3 different.
What do you have you thought about? Have you decided on Nebraska, UCLA?
Well, you got to talk me into going UCLA, but I don't know. I've
We'll
still
wait. You guys got to read it.
I
We'll
still
read it.
have today to figure that out. I was unaware. You just threw that curveball at me.
Yeah.
And I'm not good at hitting curveballs. I like the I like the change up or the fastball.
Well, you don't strike out. We learned that
I
on the
don't
show
strike
too.
out.
We
Yep,
don't
yep.
strike.
Well.
All right, let's go to the NFL. All
right.
we'll start with the Bears, which it might be a similar pick.
The
but
Bears.
I kind of want to talk about them a little bit because they continue to win football games. I said it on Monday.
Yeah.
You know, they're 5-3.
Yep.
Any of the 5 victories, strike you as wow, that's impressive. No, but it doesn't matter in the NFL.
Yeah.
Simply win. They're beating lesser teams in the NFL, not very good teams, by a small margin, but they figure out a way to win.
Finding
this is
ways to win.
and that's the coaching staff.
Yeah.
A friend of mine texted me this week. He goes, last year they'd be 2-6 right now. Now they're 5-3, simply because of the coaching staff.
Yep.
So now they get the Giants,
Yep.
who who killed you one week.
Oh, they did. I still remember
Jackson Dart coming to town.
I was in New York City when that happened. Can you
know.
believe that?
I know.
I mean, how could they let me down? I almost bought a shirt with Dart and Scatterbo.
Yeah.
And I'm glad I didn't.
Because Scatterbo's out.
But he's out. But you know what I did get? My wife ordered. We didn't get it in Canada, but it's great. I said I got to get. They didn't have my size. She goes, I'll order one. I'm gonna have to wear it. Probably. It's a John Moose shirt.
Oh, no
not
kidding.
a John Deere shirt. It's in Canada. It says, whatever we went to. It was St. John's. What was that?
Instead of John Deere, it's John Moose.
It says John Moose.
I love that.
Isn't that great?
Yeah, you got to wear that next
I said,
week.
I'm going to have to wear that.
Yeah,
'cause
definitely.
Maybe not next week, maybe somewhere, but I will wear it. But John Moose,
I
isn't
like
that
it.
great?
Oh, I love it.
So,
I love
yes.
it. So Bears, and they
Bears,
host the
Giants.
Giants.
Yeah.
Giants, and they're so injured. Their Malik Neighbors
Yeah.
is out for the year. Scadbo's out for the
out.
year. I'll let you go first.
I'll go Bears because I really like the fact that the Bears are back in business to contend for the North.
Yeah.
I mean, really, they have Lions one more time.
They have Lions one more time. They have Packers
one more,
twice
more. Yeah.
And it's weird. And I looked at it the other day. It's Packers, then a game. I can't remember what it is, and then Packers again. So they get the Packers in the span
and you
of 3
can't
weeks.
discount
twice.
the Vikings either.
No,
I
and
mean
they got to go
after-
to the Vikings.
Yeah. So
God, that game pisses.
It's going to be fun. I think the
Watch my
North.
language.
The North. I think the North is going to be interesting down these last 8 weeks. Starting with this week, so I'm gonna go Bears.
I think the Bears have 2 layups left: the Giants at home, and they play the Browns later off at home.
Oh yeah, Browns. Yeah.
Other than that, I think they have
where
a
they play
really.
Browns at home.
I think it's at home
because Browns are horrible.
Yeah.
I hate to tip you off on this week's games.
Yeah.
Where they play as a visitor.
Yeah.
Against a team that's really bad.
Yeah.
They could upset.
Yeah.
You could go that way.
No, I'm looking for him. I'm looking for him. But with that being said, I think sometimes it's the advantage of being like the guy who's chasing, because you can be a little more aggressive.
Oh, that's true.
Sometimes I remember this and doing these kind of things and picks, and I'd always would be too conservative late.
Yeah, and I feel like
instead
that's
of just,
what I'm
and that's
doing.
not the NFL. The NFL
And
they
that's
have
what I
weird
did
weeks.
last week, and it cost me.
Yeah.
You went.
I'm going to go Bears
Okay.
because I it's just coaching and
sure.
I don't like the Bears. I'm honest about that. I said from the jump I was cranky that they got Ben Johnson because he's a good coach. A lot of what he's doing in Chicago reminds me of what Dan Campbell did.
It would help the Lions if the Bears lost.
Oh, I'd love it.
So maybe you might want to throw some juju the Giants
way.
way.
I would love it. But you know what? If I don't get this pick, I'll gladly take the Giants loss. So it's a silver lining.
Okay.
That's the way I look at it.
Yeah.
Let's do the Ravens and the Vikings.
The Vikings, yes.
It's an interesting game.
It's at Minnesota.
It's at Minnesota. I saw Minnesota firsthand. Their defense was impressive. Brian Flores does a good job scheming. And that's the thing is it used to be Brian Flores versus Ben Johnson, and Ben Johnson always had the best of them. And that was the first game watching as a Lions fan. I'm like, we miss Ben Johnson. This would not have happened. So with that being said, go ahead. You want to go?
Well, go ahead.
I think the Ravens are back on track now.
Yeah, I think so too.
And I'm not a
Lamar
J.J.
Jackson,
McCarthy guy.
and I've always been a Lamar Jackson fan. Matter of fact, did I put? I left it in my this morning. Oh, I do have it in my pocket. Look at this.
You never know what this guy pulls out.
So this morning, I have a freshman, Elion Anderson, who just comes in and he just starts talking football.
I love it.
And it's like, okay, and he's talking about Lamar Jackson. First thing he says is Lamar Jackson, the Ravens are back. He says the Ravens are back, and that's why I'm picking the Ravens. Elion, thank you. So I go out into the hallway and I look down, and it looks like somebody has dropped something, and we can't figure. I don't know what it is, so I pick it up. It's a miniature football.
Oh,
on the heels of talking football with a freshman to start my day.
There you go.
I think it's an omen.
Yeah.
I think it's a sign.
How do I go against that?
I think, Lamar Jackson. So we're going to put this right up here.
Yeah.
Put
it with Ness.
Yeah, put it with Ness and Jimmy.
Should have been a band. I hate to say this because I want to be different, but I'm going to go with the Ravens too. I think the Ravens can run off like 3, 4, 5 in a row.
And get back in the hunt.
Yeah. No.
I mean, they built – then Chiefs are in a hole too.
Yeah.
Chiefs are in a hole. Ravens are in a hole. Will they dig themselves out?
If the Vikings
would have
this will make Vikings fans mad. If the Vikings would have beaten the Lions and like because they played well, then I'd be like, okay. But like the Lions just did everything they could to give that game away, and they did.
Sure.
So I walked away with that, ticked off my own team and not impressed with the other team, which will probably bite me in the butt when they sweep us later this year or whatever. But I'm going to go that one as well. Give me one we're not going to let's do the best game of the week, the Eagles and Packers.
Really?
Eagles and Packers. We have to do that game.
Okay.
Because, I mean, if we do Lions and Commanders, will that be different?
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm taking.
I'm taking Lions.
Yeah, okay.
Commanders, they're the Commanders, like,
so beat
they
up
lost.
too.
Yeah,
the Lions, I don't think, have lost 2 straight games in 2.5 years.
I'll let you go first on Eagles-Packers, and we'll see if we're I'll try to go different.
Eagles are coming off a bye.
Yeah.
Packers just lost, I think, their best offensive weapon.
Kraft.
Yeah, and I think that's huge.
Yes.
That and also
is that going to sway you?
It's weird because
I was hoping you
Jordan Love, will be so average for a bunch of weeks, and I'll be like, is he that great? And then he'll have one good game, and the national media jumps on him as the greatest thing ever. Now, with all that being said, give me the Packers at home at night.
See, I was hoping you would go Eagles and I would go Packers because I'm a Packer fan.
Okay,
I was a Packer fan, but I think that we need to have this game different. So for entertainment value only, I mean, I want the Packers to win. I think
hope
the
I'm
Packers.
wrong. I want the Packers to lose.
I'm trying to figure out. I circled the Eagles, so that's good.
Yeah.
I'm going with my gut rather than my heart and my head.
The best team in football coming off a bye.
And I let you choose first.
Yeah.
Man, I just think that it's a perfect spot for the Packers to win. And if it comes down to it's Monday night, right? Isn't that the Monday night
it's a Monday night game.
Yeah, so if it comes down to that and I have to win, then I'm going to really be like squirming on the couch.
But the Packers aren't invincible at home by any stretch.
Oh, no.
I mean, they just lost to Carolina.
And they lost to the Browns. And they lost to Carolina.
In Lambeau.
Yeah, that was crazy. And Carolina's playing better.
Yeah.
I mean, I would never think that they would be in a hunt for.
Boy, if I was a Packers fan and I went up to that game, I would want my money back there too. I don't even know. That's the one thing that made me feel better on the way home was like, oh, the Packers lost too.
But the Eagles, I mean, Jalen Hurts is my fantasy quarterback. I'm 3-6, so I'm not anything setting the world on fire.
Yeah.
But I'm looking at if I could get to 6-6 fantasy wise.
Mm-hmm.
What else? The weapons that the Eagles have can counter and the Packers are not that great defensively, I don't think.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of signs there that say Eagles. There's a lot of things that say Packers. But the bottom line is you pick the Packers. Therefore,
I hope I'm wrong.
Oh, wait. I have it underneath here. I have the answer. Look. right there.
See,
Says,
did you have that planned, or did you just think of that as you went? That's amazing. I'm more impressed
I have,
with the ad-libbing right now than anything else.
I have the answer right here. The Eagles, it says Eagles right there.
Yeah, he's not just flashing you at home. That says Eagles there.
So there it is. That's my pick is the Eagles.
All right. So we have two different right now.
Underneath 6'7". Carson 6'7". Yep,
see? He's doing it. He's there.
So there we go. I think we've got the answers, and we have the good luck Jimmy and the good luck Ness right here with the good luck football.
Ness, I want to beat you so bad. Like it's all. I mean, for Christmas, that'd be all I want. For Christmas.
I got so much juju going right now that I feel good about my picks and the Eagles.
So which two do we have different?
We have
Iowa and Oregon, and then we have Eagles and Packers.
And I thought there was one more.
I don't think so because we both did Bears. We both did Ravens.
Oh, BYU and Texas Tech.
Oh, we do have three different.
Yeah, we have three different.
All right.
And I think this could be a week, and I've looked ahead. I think this could be a week where I have 6 different.
Yeah, I feel better about it. You know how that one week where you felt better?
You know,
when we left, we got done, we were like, I think you got the better. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, we had a lot different, and you're like.
I thought I was better last week.
And I feel right now that you're better.
Really?
I do.
I went last week, and I thought, man, I'm going to be up to 8.
Yeah.
I thought I'm going to win,
Yeah.
But no, and then while I was counting the Vanderbilt not pick for you, like I was going to pull that string.
I knew you were gonna. I made sure I changed it right away.
Yeah, you changed it before I told you to change it, or you changed it after?
No, after.
Okay.
Right? When you told me, I was like, I better change it now.
I don't even know if that counts because I had to edit your picks.
There's going to be a day, oh God, I hope there's a day that I got a pie like this, and you're going to be like, but remember, Vanderbilt, and I'm going to like.
And by the time I get Vanderbilt out,
it's going to be your crutch. It's going to be your crutch.
Like so counting down from 5.
Yeah. So hey, we're hopefully entertaining when it comes to our picks. We hope you guys enjoy getting online and doing yours. By the time you watch this, they'll be up online. So go online, click the link. It's as easy as you can do. If you've signed up already, you should get a link with an email with the link, but we don't know. So anyway, either way, go to our social media.
Can we get a consensus? Do we think Dazzo is going to lose this week? They both said,
I think Ness is going to do a little.
No, he's not sure.
He's not. See, you're not even sure yourself.
Jimmy
loves it. Jimmy loves it.
All right.
So, all right, everyone. Thank you guys for participating. Thank you to Hungry Hobo most of anything for allowing us to do this and taking over the Rock Island one every Tuesday at 3:45 or whatever. We'll be back with much more. You're watching OTA on a Wednesday right here in the Quad Cities.
Cheers.
Welcome back to Off Day with Matt Randazzo here on a Wednesday, November 5th, and we're running low on time, almost to noon, which is a good thing. I figured this show was gonna get pretty full on us, and that's exactly what happened, which is an awesome thing. Easy time of year for that to happen too. Thank you to Ness Guess, Marc Nesseler for the last segment. A lot of fun. Thank you to Hungry Hobo as well. Go online, go to social media, give me about a half hour to get it out there, and then make sure you fill out your picks, winners each week, and congrats to Dane once again. We'll get a prize from Hungry Hobo right here in the Quad Cities. So very cool and a lot of fun this year as well. Thank you to Pat Anger for joining us. Always entertaining. Pat Anger is Tom Kakert talking about Iowa's victory last night on the basketball court, the Ben McCollum era off and running. Mike Morrissey from Moline, talking Moline football as well. So as we mentioned, a full show. Got a lot to get to tomorrow. Efforting, Jake Brend. We're going to talk Rock Island soccer, Geneseo football. Hopefully Kai Weinzierl will be able to join us. That's what we're efforting to do. And trying to get Ked Prince lined up as well. So a lot of moving parts for tomorrow. And Ty Taylor hasn't been on yet this week. So the rest of the week, we got plenty to get to. We'll have the boys from View from the West most likely on Friday. We'll continue to talk about Iowa and Oregon, the big game this week when it comes to college football, getting bigger and bigger by the day, which is exciting and should be a lot of fun to get to this week. I'm looking and efforting right now I know two of our local volleyball teams are in action as we speak, as we run out of time. So let me look and see if there's any update. I think they're just getting rolling. Yeah, North Scott is just getting going right now, and Assumption later. So best of luck to both of them. Hopefully we can catch up on all of that this week as well. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you so much to our sponsors who allow us to do this each and every day. And we'll be back with another edition, if you will, of Off the Air coming up tomorrow. Enjoy your Wednesday.